rebel forces, of course. Is that something that you learned while you were there?
Yeah, we were standing there. Looking across at that city that had just been fighting back and forth right before we got there. When we left, you could hear the thud of the rockets and the explosions going off when the fighting resumed. Yeah, we were there at that field hospital and saw where they would bring those Syrian soldiers to. It's a remarkable thing. They're not going to tell you about that on the news.
About the amount of parts helping the Assad forces?
Helping the Syrian forces, but remember, those Syrian forces, whether they're Assad forces or the rebel forces, on any given day they would want to kill the Jewish people. But they know they can come through that fence and the Jewish people will take care of it.
Now, may I ask, I know this is some, I'm kind of, just want to collect some information. Do you think that those rebel forces, the rebel forces, do you think some of those include like Al Qaeda and ISIS?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely, I think.
All right.
It's a mess over there right now.
Okay.
The alliances, the whole place is just a cauldron of conflict and turmoil.
Right,
which is all the more reason why we have to stand with the nation of Israel. I mean, my district runs from just outside of Cleveland to just outside of Cincinnati. It's the whole eastern flank of the state, believe it or not, shaped very much like the nation of Israel. And I think, how would we feel here, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Kentucky, and the rest of Ohio were trying to exterminate us. And that's a smaller landmass than what we have here. It's a pretty desperate situation.
I know I have read some reports from the Jerusalem Post that basically said that they reported that they've been helping like the Al Qaedas and the.
They don't ask who they are. They don't ask who they are when they come through that hole in the fence. They do the humane thing and they fix their wounds and send them back across the border. They don't let them stay in Israel, but they send them back across the border. They're trying very, very hard to show that they are a nation that desires peace. They want to be left alone. But the Palestinians, the Al Qaedas, the ISIS, the Iranians, they don't want peace with Israel. They want Israel to not exist anymore.
Okay. Now, also, because it surprised me that you actually you're sharing this information, because I was read in the Jerusalem report, the Jerusalem Post. I guess the Israeli Health Ministry apparently is denying that they have been helping the ISIS and Al Qaeda or whatever.
That may be a political position.
Yeah, right.
I know what I saw when I was there.
Well, I'm glad you're sharing that because I know there was you probably know the UN Disengagement Observation Force.
Yeah.
They've been
the UN has been backing this boycott against Israel, making it very, very difficult for Israel to export goods and services. Trying to get European nations to boycott Israeli businesses and products that are made in Israel. To try and shut them down.
Why do you think that would be? Why do you think you would
hit them economically? The same reason that our administration is pushing for this two-state solution. They want Israel to bow, and if you go stand, you can stand at high places, altitude-wise, on high places in Israel, and you can look out across the neighborhoods. You can see which neighborhoods are Israeli neighborhoods and which ones are Palestinian neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. It's like city, slum, city, slum. You can see like a river of slum running down through where it's predominantly Palestinian. Hebron, where Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are buried, doesn't belong to the Israelis, and it's very, very dangerous to go there. We went to Bethlehem, and the Jewish people do not control Bethlehem, which is the birthplace of Christ. It's remarkable how much of their religious heritage, which defines them as a people, have been stripped away from them. And here's what I couldn't get into tonight. The only legal document that defines who that land belongs to occurred after World War I. And it was the Balfour Declaration and the British mandate that established the boundaries that originally included modern-day Jordan. But Churchill later took Jordan out of it. That's why I read that passage from the Bible. Long before World War I, back in 1900-something BC, ever how much that was, whenever I read that. Let's see, when was that? 1906 BC. God said, this is your land. This is the land that I give to you. And if you go there, you find that there is no archaeological evidence that the Palestinians ever had any claim on that land. But there is shocking, striking, compelling archaeological evidence that the Israelis have lived there ever since God gave it to them. It's their land.
Yeah, this is all very interesting, for sure. So I know that I'm doing some writing for a website called thedailyresistance.com. So, I mean, both as a Christian and as a journalist, so that's why I'm interested in collecting this kind of info.
Sure.
So, I mean,
Good. Well, nice to meet you, Buster. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.